In our last slideshow and lecture, we discussed the idea of relationship marketing. Today, let's talk a little bit more about the nuts and bolts of relationship marketing to give you a little bit better feeling for what we're talking about. Let's start with just the facts. Some of the facts about relationship marketing. It costs 5 to 7 times more money to find a new customer than to retain a current one. As a result, for most companies, they would be better off to spend money on retaining customers rather than simply spending money on trying to attract more customers. The average company loses about 10% of its customers per year, which of course then means that these companies will have to acquire more customers. But at the same time, if they could reduce the number of customers that they're losing, they would find that they don't need to attract as many new customers. A 5% reduction in the loss of customers can increase profits by 25 to 75%. Just keeping 1 out of every 20 customers that you lose could actually increase your organization's profits by 25 to 75%. For almost every organization, that means more focus on customer relationship building to retain customers. Finally, the longer you have a customer, the more profitable they become. Once again, another reason to be thinking about building relationships with your best customers. Of customers who register a complaint, 60% to 75% will do business again with the company if the complaint was resolved. The figure goes up to 95% if the complaint was resolved quickly and fairly. The average customer will tell about 5 people about good treatment they got if the complaint is resolved, and an average of 8 people about poor treatment if the complaint is resolved. What this means in terms of relationship marketing is that every company is going to make a mistake. Every customer eventually will have a complaint about something. The solution, of course, is to resolve that complaint quickly and fairly, and in reality, that might actually increase the likelihood of retaining a customer rather than decreasing it. The future of marketing is on building long-term relationships with your best customers. But to really practice relationship marketing, and then an organization has to be able to identify their best customers. To do this, they're going to need to figure out which customers are worth the most to the organization. This is a critical aspect of relationship building, and it's one of the things that Pete Fader talked about in the video that you watched last time. Relationship marketing is not just a business tool, it's a business philosophy based on the marketing concept. That is, relationship marketing is really all about satisfying the wants and needs, in this case, of your best customers. And then finally, relationship marketers have a different view of business and therefore of marketing. Once you adopt a relationship marketing mentality, your approach to doing business changes. You no longer are as focused on acquiring new customers as you are on retaining the good customers that you already have. To really practice relationship marketing, an organization has to be able to identify their best customers, something we just got done talking about. One quick story about this. For many organizations, the customers who you identify as your best customers might not actually be your best customers. An example is the golf course where I'm a member. We have a number of people who hang out at that golf course all day long. They're there all day. They appear to be really good customers of the golf course, but they don't actually spend any money. They basically use the golf course as a recreational facility without spending any money. They bring their own beverages. They never have lunch. They never buy anything. They simply come out to the golf course and use it as a free practice facility. These customers appear to be good customers, but they are simply not. So how do you build relationships with customers? Well, Einstein's famous quote, "Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results," applies here. For many organizations, they say they want to build relationships with their best customers, but then they go back to doing what they've always done. Relationship marketing is oriented towards a long-term plan to maintain customers. And relationship marketing is not seek a temporary increase in sales, but rather building a lasting bond by strengthening its customers' relationships. This is all done in the general framework of customer relationship management programs. So, to build relationships with customers, you need to make it worthwhile for them to become a loyal customer. An example, the Las Vegas Water District sends me a number of newsletters and wants me to join their email club and wants me to become a member of the water district. I don't want a relationship with the water district, just like I don't want a relationship with NV Energy. Why don't I want a relationship with those two organizations? Well, there's nothing in it for me. If the NV Energy was going to give me free power if I was a member, then I would be interested in joining. But as it turns out, they want to build a relationship with me so that they can present new ideas and new products to me, but there's really nothing in it for me. So that's an example of an organization that I don't want a relationship with. So what do customers want today? Well, think about what you want when as a customer with any company that you're currently doing business. I want customization, unique products, and special services. I want some personal attention. You want to feel important. Well, how do you feel important? Well, you feel important when the organization that you're dealing with appreciates you. I'd like to have some recognition for my loyalty and value to the organization. I want to be able to trust the organization, and I want a commitment, a reason to continue to purchase from that organization. And I probably also want to be able to do two-way communications. Customers become loyal when they trust you, are committed to the product and service, are passionate about the product and services, are beyond satisfied, and are given a reason to keep purchasing. An example of this might be someone like Amazon. Many of you are probably Amazon Prime members, and you love to shop on Amazon, and you are very satisfied with the way that Amazon works. They create a reason for you to continue to purchase from them. A little bit about the importance of retention. What I have here is a chart. In the first chart, I have 10,000 customers, and we bring in 2,500 new customers every year. And our retention rate of customers is 75%. That is, 75% of the customers I have, I retain from 1 year to the next. As you can see by the mathematics here, at the end of 5 years, I have 8,093 customers. I started with 10,000, I added 2,500 per year, but because I am only being able to retain 75% of those customers, in year 5 I have 8,000 customers. That is, I have fewer customers in year 5 than I had in year 1. So, what would happen if we were able to increase that retention rate from 75% of our customers to 85% of our customers? That is, keeping 1 out of every 10 customers we currently have. 1 more out of every 10 customers we currently have. Well, at the end of 5 years, we wouldn't then not have 8,093 customers. We would have 12,318 customers. So what that means is just keeping 1 more customer in every 10 results in 4,225 additional customers by year 5, or a 52% increase in the total number of customers. That's why relationship building with our best customers and retention are so important for businesses today. And so this comes to another important point in relationship marketing, and that is something called the lifetime value of a customer. That is, how much is a customer worth to your organization over time? Well, that's impacted by the retention of customers, the increased spending and product usage by your customers, referrals that customers might give you, and a cost reduction that you might experience by having customers who don't need to be replaced because they defected. Here's an example, a grocery store example. How much do you spend on groceries per week? Well, let's just say it's $50. That's an annual expenditures of $2,600 on groceries. If you live in Las Vegas for an average of 12 years, that's $31,200. With a 20% profit margin at the grocery store, that means that you are worth $6,240 to a grocery store. Well, of course, this is a key metric in relationship marketing because it helps the store to understand how valuable you are to them as an individual customer. Maybe even a better example for you might be a cell phone. Think about your cell phone plan. Many of you have probably been on the same cell phone plan as you started with when you got your first cell phone, whether it was in middle school or high school or college or yesterday. Think about how much money you've paid in cell phone bills to that particular company, Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T, the old Singular company. Think about how much you're worth to them. It is imperative that they not lose you as a customer. So modern marketing is database marketing. And why is it database marketing? Well, it's database marketing because databases allow an organization to identify their best customers and then develop plans to keep those customers over time. But there is one question left to answer. If customer centricity and using a database marketing approach to build relationships with your best customers is such a great idea, why doesn't everyone do it? Why doesn't Walmart do it? Why doesn't Albertsons do it? Well, first, most firms have a short-term mentality, and they don't think about their business in a long-term sense. They're only interested in this month's sales, this quarter sales, this year's sales. Second, most enterprises, the reward structure in most enterprises is not set up to develop and enhance customer relationships. Most organizations pay their employees to acquire new customers, not retain their current ones. Third, and most importantly, most firms do not have a data-driven relationship marketing culture. That is, they have no way of being able to identify who their best customers actually are. And of course, with the new technologies available, both online and in computer-based by platform, the ability to do this is certainly changing. The real question is whether or not companies will change their organizational culture to take advantage of this.